What are your thoughts? I mean, first, I mean, of course, particularly with the electoral amendment bill as well as the budget for the elections that hasn't, been passed or that just got to the Senate from the president.
Thank you very much. I would like to say first and foremost that you see, we like my colleague said, we have not learned any lesson in this country, and that is why we are trying in our party, the ANRP, to bring a new perspective to the electoral process, the electioneering process in this country. We are trying to raise a new generation of young people who will put the interests of the country first before their personal interests. What we are witnessing today is a, a tossing around between the political class, the legislature, and the executive, who are mostly populated by the two parties who are literally or who are called in quote the biggest parties in Nigeria, the PDP and the ACP, the APC. They have not put the interests of the country at heart or first. They are playing politics with the interests of the country. Now we have the issue of the electoral act amended, needed to be assented by the president. The president withheld and is playing politics with it. We have the INEC budget before the legislature. The legislature is playing politics with it. We are now at the mercy of this political class, in quotes. You see, the interests of the people of Nigeria needs to be put forward first. We need to put aside politics when it concerns the rights of the citizens of this country. Now, if these two issues are not addressed, it will lead and it may lead to disenfranchisement of the citizens. And that is a fundamental deprivement for the citizens. When you do that,
Well, so let me come in here, Mr. Jigu. You're
yeah,
talking about this enfranchising, some
yeah.
citizens. Now we're talking about those right here in the country. What about those outside? And we're also looking at diaspora voting. How would we, come about doing that? But just before you answer that question, if you could just move again a bit, the camera, you're actually moving out of your shot. All right, that's kind of okay. So please go ahead.
So you
I'm
brought in
talking about
another very
diaspora
good
voting, not talking about disenfranchising citizens from exercising their constitutional right. So what you're
yeah,
talking
you're
about,
talking about that.
yeah. So I'm
Yeah, go
looking
on.
at what about those in the diaspora? How do we bring them?
Yeah,
How do we get them to vote?
uh, I can remember since 2007, we've been talking about how to incorporate the people in diaspora, how to ensure that they participate in the electoral process in the country, in the process of choosing and electing leaders that will have the interests of the people at heart. Now, these people are in the diaspora, they also see what is going on in the country. They are interested. They see the political class, how they display their, their love for the country or how they seek to develop the country. So they also want to participate in choosing leaders that will put the interest of the people at heart or in front. So we've been discussing this, but it also brings me back to the issue I mentioned earlier. The political class we have right now do not put the interests of the people, of the citizens at heart.
All right.
They are putting their selfish interest. That is why the people in diaspora cannot participate even as at now. And in
Let,
2018, we have not been able to incorporate them. We are still discussing how to approve the budget for INEC.
let me hold you there for a bit. I'm bringing Hamzat. I mean, talking about interests. Hamza, would you agree? Because if you're looking at the fact that, like you said, since 2007, we've been speaking about, or there has been that discussion around getting the people or Nigerians in diaspora to vote, during elections. I mean, do you think it's a matter of interest? Do you think that's why that hasn't actually happened?
Yes, I think it's a matter of interest. The political class have decided to rule Nigeria with their own selfish interest before the collective general public's interest. Mind you, diaspora community invest over $20 billion annually. This money comes to Nigeria's economy and contributes to our GDP. These are people that are citizens irrespective of where they find themselves. It is quite sad and it's quite unfortunate that in our very young democracy, people who contribute their wealth, their struggle and efforts working abroad cannot participate. The beauty of democracy is about participation. And if a certain group of people are not participating, then what kind of democracy are you practicing? Today, any United States of America citizen, irrespective of where they find themselves, are able to vote during their presidential election. Why is the case of Nigeria different? Is it that we will copy something and not paste the same way and just take the one that works for us or that works for a minority few political elite who don't want things to work the way of the people? It is quite sad and unfortunate. But as much as we debate this, we need a legislation. We need a legislation to activate this and get a presidential assent. I know that with the time allocated before the general election, this is not possible. It is not possible, not because we can't make it possible, but because with the players involved, we know it will not happen. We're still talking about the electoral amendment. We're talking about funding the 2019 elections, and yet we don't even have a legislative debate around ensuring diaspora voting, which is really quite unfortunate. But then again, I believe that this is an opportunity, particularly for people who wants to vie for election. I think that as aspirants and as candidates after these primaries, we need to start holding debates around issues. What are your agenda when we elect you into the National Assembly? Because it's as if the executive have the agenda and the National Assembly have the agenda, and now the country is being put into comatose
All
because
right.
the two of them have not been able to streamline the common interest agenda for the Nigerian people.